Yes, there are jobs out there. In fact, last week, American University, we had a job fair for our students, our fall job and internship fair. We had 132 employers register. That's over a 25% increase from the same time last year. One of the most important things to do, as I may have alluded to, is getting off the computer, getting out of your house, and networking. LinkedIn.com is, everybody watching this should be on LinkedIn. It's no longer, it's a must-be on LinkedIn. Over 90% of employers look to see that you have a profile, so you want a nice polished profile. People tend to just apply online, and then never follow up with employers to see if they received your materials, to see if they need any additional information. The odds are not with you if all you're doing is going to major career databases and applying that way. What we find are the students that are the most proactive and start the earliest in finding jobs are the ones who find them. But anytime that you might be interacting with employers, you want to be dressing professionally. So for an interview, of course, you want to be wearing a nice tailored outfit, preferably a suit or at least a nice jacket, matching pants, a modest length skirt for women, or pants are okay. But you want to look professional. You don't want to wear high spike heels if you're a woman. Anything that's going to make you uncomfortable. A lot of people have tattoos now, so I think it's going to depend on the industry and the sector how big a deal it is. That being said, to be safe, cover it if you can. If you can't, possibly be prepared to ask questions about it. But I'm not a big fan of just calling up people cold and asking if they have opportunities and jobs, because almost all the time the answer to that is no. So whenever you're looking at a job ad or you've talked to somebody about what they're looking for in a job, you want to tailor the cover letter to that job and that organization, and you want to talk about how your background meets whatever it is the employer is asking for. So if they're asking for expertise in Excel, for example, you would say something like, in my internship at XYZ organization, I created, a 3,000 record database in Excel. I like to print out the job description if there is one, highlight or circle the key things the employer is looking for, and make sure I address that in my cover letter and check them off. But tailoring how my background fits their need. But when you take that time, whether you're applying to a job posting online or to something a friend told you about, to really tell the employer about how you meet their needs, that puts you probably in the top 10% of applicants. Make sure that cover letter is typo and free, grammar perfect, have somebody besides yourself read it. Create a perfect cover letter. I haven't found an employer yet who likes a 3-page resume. If you're talking about an undergraduate level student, a 1-page resume should be your target and your desire. It's really important at the end of a job interview to express interest in the position, to go home and write a thank you note. It's nice in the thank you note to touch on what you liked about the meeting and the organization, and if you've thought of anything that you'd like to add in the thank you note as well. But for some employers, not sending a thank you note is the kiss of death as well. Be prepared with a list of questions. So what are you going to ask the employer? Because there's going to come a point in that interview where the employer looks at you and says, do you have any questions for us? Do not stalk employers. Stalking is when you apply for a position, or maybe ask for an informational interview, and you don't leave the person alone. You think you're following up appropriately, but you're contacting them every 2 days to ask about the status of the position. You ask a group of people how they found their position. Very often they do mention something about an online resource, but very often it's through some friend. It can appear to be luck, but luck is opportunity meeting preparation. So when you put yourself in situations like networking events or instigating contact for informational interviews, you're creating your own luck.